Previously, we have used the scanner class to accept and process user input from the console. The scanner class can also be used to read and process a text file. This is possible due to the fact that the scanner class implements the iterator interface. To prove this, if we hover over scanner here, notice we have the option to press F2 to focus on this dialog box. And when we press F2, we are presented with a few options here at the bottom. When we select the option to open declaration, we are presented with the actual source code that makes up the scanner class. The only thing we are going to look at here is that the scanner class does indeed implement the iterator interface. When we hover over iterator, press F2 to focus and select the option to open the declaration for the iterator interface, we can see the source code for the iterator interface. Briefly looking through the source code, we can see there are two abstract methods and two default methods within the iterator interface. Understanding what is contained within these files is not extremely important. However, I did want to point out that the iterator interface is utilized in the same manner in which iterators were explained in the previous two videos. In this tutorial, we are going to use the hasNext and next methods that stem from the iterator interface that is implemented in the scanner class. And now you have a pretty good understanding of the origin of these methods. So now that we've seen that, let's go ahead and read and process a text file using the scanner class. Specifically, we are going to read a text file and search for a specific word. We will count each time that specific word is encountered and display the final count once the text file has been completely traversed. The first thing we need is a text file to read and process. For this example, we are going to use the text from the famous Dr. Seuss book, The Cat in the Hat. I'll include the link for the website that I pulled the text from in the details of this video. We'll go ahead and copy all the text from the story, open up an empty text file and paste it in. We'll then save the file to the text file scanner project folder. Inside the Java file here, we're going to need to import all classes from the java.io package by typing import java.io** at the top of the file. This package will allow us to access the text file for processing. Now inside the main method, let's create a new scanner object and give it a name of filescan. Next, we will initialize the scanner object filescan to the text file we saved in the text file scanner folder. We can do so by typing filescan equals new scanner, new file, with the name you gave to the text file in quotes. In this case, I will type catinthehat.txt. Notice we get an error on this initialization statement. We can get rid of the error by adding throws IO exception after the parameter list here. By doing this, we are instructing the program to throw an error should the text file catinthehat.txt not be located. This is mandatory whenever we are working with external files so that the program knows how to handle such instances of a file not being located. Alright, so now that we have initialized the scanner object named filescan, let's create a couple more variables. The first will be a string variable with a name of word. We will assign the word in which we will be searching the text file for to this variable. That word will be cat. Next, we will create an int variable called word count that will store the number of times the word cat is encountered in the text file. Now comes the bulk of the logic for this program. We will traverse the text file using a while loop. The condition of the while loop will be filescan.hasNext. As seen earlier, hasNext is a method implemented from the iterator interface. If we hover over hasNext, we can see a description of its functionality. The description reads, returns true if this scanner has another token in its input. This method may block while waiting for input to scan. The scanner does not advance past any input. In other words, as long as there is a character being read, the while loop will continue. It is important to understand the last statement being made in the description. The scanner does not advance past any token. This means that unless instructed otherwise, this while loop will be an infinite loop as only the first character or token of the text file will be read. Unlike the method next, which we will use next, hasNext does not advance to the next token. With that in mind, let's write the body of the while loop. The body will be an if statement. The condition of the if statement will be filescan.next contains word. If we hover over the method next, we get a description of finds and returns the next complete token from this scanner. As previously mentioned, the next method does advance to the next token. This is what will keep the while loop from being an infinite one and what will allow us to traverse through every word in the text file. And once every word has been traversed, the hasNext method will output false, which will end the while loop. Now, notice we are using the contains method on the filescan.next. This method is available due to the fact that the next method by default is used on strings, and the contains method is available to any string object. Using the contains method, we will put the variable we named word as a parameter, as this is what we will be comparing each token the next method encounters to. Notice we are using contains instead of equals. This is because in the story, there are times when the word cat comes directly before a comma, period, exclamation point, etc. If we were to use equals, cat would not be counted as it is not exactly equal to whatever token the next method encounters. By using the contains method, these occurrences will be counted as they should be. Alright, now if filescan.next contains the word cat, we will increment the word count variable by 1 using word count plus plus. And finally, the last thing we will do in our program is print out the total amount of times the word cat is in the text file by using a println statement. When we run the program, we see that the word cat was used 26 times in the catinthehat.txt file. Note that this is not the only way to read and process a text file. However, it is a straightforward method to do so and one that should be easily understood at this point in the tutorial series. Have fun counting the occurrences of words in any text files you can find. I'm sure you will find some interesting results.